You know what's always entertaining is when you see a politician just say something so stupid to where you're just like, really? Like, do you really lack that kind of critical thinking skills? And a prime example of a politician that does this almost every day, besides Joe Biden, is AOC. She is a little on the simple side. She says some wild stuff, which in theory sounds amazing. Like, when it comes to like, oh, free college, free healthcare. Yeah, all that sounds great until you think about how is that going to be paid for. So she really appeals to like really like probably younger, like 20-year-old college kids that are like not in the real world yet. And so, yeah, so this is her. She's talking about gas prices and what will happen under Trump with the gas prices. So, as we all know, us normal people that live in the normal world and have normal jobs, gas has skyrocketed since Biden became president. They were always around what? Like, so in my area personally, I think they were always around between like 250 to 280. I live in Maryland, so it's probably higher than a lot of like red states since we're blue here. But I don't remember it ever going over three under Trump. Like I just don't remember ever seeing that. It was always under three. And when Biden took over, there was one point where I think it got to like 519 here for regular, which was insane. And even right now, I just checked like a couple hours ago, it's 369 still. Nowhere close to Trump prices. Like at Trump's peak, it's still like 70 cents higher than that. So I guess us normal people know that. Politicians probably don't care because they make way more than most of us do to do nothing. So let's see what she has to say when it comes to Trump and gas prices.
We checked in with the Trump campaign yesterday, asked them about their strategy in choosing to come to the Bronx for the rally. Here's what the campaign told us.
President Trump is going to speak directly to locals in the Bronx, in the borough, about how their lives have worsened under Joe Biden's policies, particularly Bidenomics, which has led to the highest inflation in a generation.
As you consider the message that Trump might deliver, will he find some New Yorkers receptive to that? How much of this crowd do you think is an out-of-town crowd versus a Bronx crowd?
I mean, I suspect there's going to be a lot of out-of-towners there. And listen, we have a big, diverse city. I'm sure someone will be showing up supportive. But even in the hit on the economic point, we just saw that the former president met with oil executives last week saying, hey, you give me $1 billion and I'll make sure that you get the policies that are favorable to raising gas prices and making sure that that a lot of these companies continue to price gouge without proper oversight or regulation. And so the idea that he'd be bringing those down when he's cashing in from the same folks that are bringing those prices up, I think is a little bit suspect. And again, I think the Bronx sees through.
So you have it there. She thinks under Trump, the gas prices are going to skyrocket and the oil companies are going to start price gouging under Trump. So let's take a look at something. So this is the gas prices since 2019. So 2019 around June, they were about 2.8. Let's do 10 years. I can't do 10 years. So I can't do Trump's full term. But look at that, 2.8, 2.7, 2.6, it's going down, right? And then COVID, yeah, it's back down. Even here, it's 2.2, pretty high. So what happens about here? So this is 2 days before or Biden takes office at 2.46. Okay? Pretty low, right? Then Biden takes office. And it's just up. By May, it's already at the $3 mark. Crazy. November, 350 mark. Still higher than that in my area, by the way. Look at that. I can't even get to where it got exactly for. About March 2022, about a year into his term, over $4. Right? And then June 2022 is over $5 for a gallon of gas. And even going down, it still has not broke that $3 barrier. Like it's gotten down to like 3.179 is the closest it's gotten going down. It's still even popped back up here. And even now, look, 3.69. So I guess Maryland, where I'm at, it's like right on average with the country. So what does this mean? So Trump's going to raise gas prices, AOC says, because they're going to start price gouging. So were they not, when this thing was $5 here? Were they just fine with the price gouging because it benefited them? Like, obviously, corporations are greedy, right? All corporations are greedy. Oil companies, places like Walmart, Amazon, medical companies, they're all greedy, right? And a lot of people have been saying, oh, price gouging is the reason for inflation, right? Did they just, so that argument doesn't quite make sense, because why didn't they just price gouge from the start? Why haven't they been price gouging for decades? Why are they just now doing it? It doesn't really make sense, right? Why would they just now, right when Biden took office, start price gouging? And then she's saying when Trump takes office, that's the real price gouging. So she's saying this isn't, right? So this whole price, and like I'm saying, I don't think this is price gouging. I think there's a number of reasons for this. One, we told the whole world that we're not going to use oil in 10 years. So the Saudis are like, okay, we'll increase our prices then because we're not going to be in your business soon, right? And then also a big thing people don't talk about, because we are still drilling oil to an extent, even though the liberals want to stop that. We've lost like 5 or 6 refineries in the last few years. So like when we get oil and we drill it, we can't just take it out of the ground and put it into a car. It's got to go through a refining process. And we just lost like 6. So when you have less refineries and you're still producing the same amount of oil, that's going to slow down the whole production because of the refining process. When you slow down the production, there's going to be a higher demand. You can't keep up with it, which is going to cause prices to increase. So it's just, it's a tricky situation. Well, not really tricky. It's called open the refineries back up, which you can do if you have a president that says, hey, we're keeping oil, because turns out, even if you want to use electric cars, they still require oil for the charging stations, right? And the technology just isn't there for electric cars yet. They could try to force this. I think it was at 2032, they want to be like 67% all electric or something. I know in Maryland, by 2035, they're not allowed to sell gas-powered cars anymore. They have to be all electric by 2035, which is insane because that's just 11 years away. That's just not practical. There's no, like, my neighborhood is a new neighborhood. They're building new houses everywhere. They're not being built with Tesla plugins. You got to get that added on separately. That's not a typical thing that comes with your house. That's something you got to go out of your way to get, to be able to charge your car at home. So not only are you going to have to spend $40,000, $35,000 on an electric car, that's not cheap. You're going to have to go out of your way to get this plug-in. And it's just, it's obnoxious. And then even when you're, say, going on a road trip, right, with your electric car, and you need to charge your car, you're going to have to wait at the Wawa or Sheetz or wherever you go to get gas for like 30 minutes. Gas takes what, 3, 4? 30 minutes. That's a big bump into your road trip. The technology just isn't there. And the thing is, we don't even know really how long these batteries on these electric cars last. Tesla, I think, has been doing it since 2012. And there have been Tesla cars that have had to buy a new battery, and they're like $20,000 or $25,000. So if you're saying that they last 12 years, your argument is going to be that you're going to have to get a new car every 12 years, which some people might be normal, right? The everyday American, it's not. There's people that have keep their cars 15 years, 20 years. They run that thing into the ground, you know? My fiance's car is 10 years old. It's a Toyota. That thing could probably last another 15 years. Toyotas run forever. So, but the electric cars just aren't there yet because the batteries just don't last that long. I don't know if they'll ever have the capacity to last that long. And that's something that companies are just going to have to figure out in time, obviously. But that's another reason this shouldn't be forced and rushed, because there's a lot of research and development involving in this. And the thing is, like Tesla, if they're just figuring out they're only lasting this long, and Tesla is probably the most trusted electric car company. All these other ones are just now throwing electric cars together. So they're probably 10 years behind Tesla. So they're going to have a lot of figuring out to do. It's just a whole ball of mess. And I think this whole thing of saying Trump's going to raise gas prices is the beyond dumbest thing I have ever heard AOC said. And that's saying something, because she has said a lot of dumb things. And it's just impressive how she still gets supported. Well, I guess when she's in a district where she's guaranteed to win every year, that helps too. The fact that someone this shamelessly stupid can be elected to Congress is both inspiring and terrifying. She is aware, we remember how much cheaper gas was under Trump, right? The gaslighting is real with the Democrats. How much have energy prices went up since Trump left office? See that they try so hard to convince you that the world is not good under Trump, but in reality, we all see how bad it was 5 years ago versus now. That's the thing with this election that makes it so unique, is we've had 4 years of Trump and we're going to have 4 years of Biden, and we can decide what's better. That hasn't happened since Grover Cleveland, I think it was like 1890s, since the last time that happened. So they can't trick people. We know what the world's like. They can keep trying, they can keep manipulating, but it's just not going to work. What do you guys think about AOC's absolutely stupid comment when it comes to gas? And do you think that if Trump gets office, gas will start to just fall down to the ground and actually get cheaper and more affordable again? Make sure you like, subscribe, all my channels, leave a comment, share this video, and I'll see you next time.